So this is typically the Microsoft project, software for project management, and this is predominantly used for any project management, and it is probably used for construction as well. Even though many bigger firms prefer Oracle Primavera, but uh, for academics and other related small construction, they prefer Microsoft project. But despite that, this has more sophisticated but also more powerful tools and techniques to manage construction projects, right? So let's begin. But if you start in the initial stage and you open the Microsoft project, you can get genuine version of Microsoft project from our institute. Like we have a Microsoft Innovation Center, so the original version of Microsoft project. And the version I use is 2010, but now 2016 and other advanced versions are available. But almost all the interfaces and all the versions are the same. So you probably any. Right? So initially you have to start the screen and you open Microsoft project. It will take you to this. You can go and click blank project, or if you have any templates, you can take that, or if you have my templates, like can connect from the web and can directly choose a particular templates or something like that. Or if you have an existing project or project from your organization, like your subordinates or some, or even from a client, you can use like new from existing, or from Excel workbook you can even create from Excel, since all these things are Microsoft products, so you can do it from Excel, SharePoint, and so on. And then you can even take it from office.com templates, planners, schedules, and more categories are available. You can try whichever versions you like, right? And then you can even create a new thing like this. Blank project is selected, or recent templates. There isn't any recent templates, so I'm just, or my templates. I also do not have any personal templates, so this is fairly the initial stages are like once I open in newly installed version, right? So I click blank project and then I'll click create. Yeah, that will take me to this particular page, and it will give us some basic guidelines like new tasks are created manually, or auto schedule, manual schedule, and so on. And you can even see there's something called start and finish time. So this is the timeline. This we have not seen in the Gantt chart. In the next lecture, we'll be looking into that in much detail when we do coordinating and organizing the the construction schedule, right? So remember, this is what I was talking about. The task name, the duration, start and finish. So there's something called predecessors and resource names, and you can even add new columns. So you can pick place like actual work, assignment delay, baseline finish. So many factors. You can see all these things are there. You can choose any of these factors, right? Or you can even type in something called text and number, and you can edit it or rename it, like which is not there in the existing thing. This is typically an added advantage when you use computers for scheduling, right? And this is a Gantt chart view, and you can see from the chart it is currently in a Gantt chart view, or you can even go to calendar view, or you can even go to network diagram view, since we have not done anything blank, right? So we'll move on to the Gantt chart, right? In all other factors, like it is pretty similar to any Microsoft product. I'll just prefer Caramel. It's one of my favorite fonts, so I'll just use that. But if you like Times New Roman or something, then you can probably use that. Type in, then you can change that to the font, right? First is we'll have some quick activities. Like we don't have to run through entire thing, but instead we can have a quick mode or something, right? So initially, the first task is the site clearance. right? So we have got a site clearance, and it's a manually scheduled, right? So I do not have anything right. Fine. So that's how we do. But generally, a piece of advice: not delete the task. I'll delete it like that. Right. Right. So first and foremost of everything is setting up the calendar. So as I told you in the previous class, we need to look into the calendars, right? So I go to project, and there's something called change for time. So you can even remember this WBS, right? Work breakdown structure. So we'll go to this, or you can go to the project information that can use to define the start and end time. But we have no idea of at this point, right? So I'm gonna close this for a moment. I'm gonna go to change work time. There's something called standard project calendar and night shift calendar and 24 hours calendar. You can see if it is 24 hours, it is 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. So 24 hours. Night shift is, you can even see it is 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. or 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. So depending upon that, we can select that. And standard project calendar is 8 to 12, which is 4 hours, and 1 to 5 is 4 hours, a total of 8 hours. You see 12 to 1, there is a lunch time, right? So that's also accommodated, right? So totally it'll be 9 hours, but 8 hours is the work hours. So minimum of 8 hours, or sometimes maximum 8 hours is the legal legislation. So a worker should be should be working only for 8 hours. If it is more than 8 hours, they have to give an overtime charges, overtime wages. Or this is very important. Create new calendar. So I'm gonna create a new calendar, and it is the name is like copy of the standard. Since it's a copying, I'm just copying the standard calendar. I'm gonna take it as a construction calendar. Gonna take it as construction calendar, and I'm gonna click OK. So once I do that, and this is just a copy of that, and I need to go to work weeks. So work week, if I go to the details, so it asks me like how many days a week is work week. They use project default times for these days, or set days to non-working days and set days to specific working days. Right. So Sunday is off, so I will be working Monday. That is control and select all the other thing. I also want to have Saturday as a working also. Right. And the dates, the default time is 8 to 12 and 1 to 5 is okay for me. Or if I want to specify some other time, like if I say I don't want to have at 8 a.m., but instead I can start the project at 9 a.m. to 12. Can have like 9 a.m. Then like I can go to 6 p.m. It's not responding. I can have it something like 12:30 or something like that. Okay, anyway, for this, let us like keep it the default time, right? You can even specify this working time. Like I'm not sure why it is not edit. It will be editable. Here it is. I think okay. So here it is. I want to have it at 9 a.m. Then 12:30 p.m. PM is noon. Then I'll have it till 1:30. No? So 1:30 and then 6 p.m. Can you check whether it is 8 hours or something like that? 9 to 10 is 1 hour. 10 to 11 is 2 hours. 11 to 12 is 3 hours. Um, it's 3.5 in the morning. Or I'll change it to 1 p.m. Then I'll start with 2 to 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Okay, right. So this I can manipulate it. Like so, I just keep okay, and then I can see here the work times for the construction calendar got changed. So 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then 1 to 2 is lunch. Then 2 to 6 p.m. also. Right. Or if you want to have a break in between, like 9 to 10:30, then half an hour break, then 11 to 1:30, something like that. You can even still do that, right? So you can change the dates per se. Yeah. Then exceptions, like these are holidays, like say January 1 is a new year, so new year holiday, right? So you can see Jan 1, not today. Have to pick place that thing in January. So it's a holiday. So you can see once I make it like it says exception New Year. So it's a leave. It does not takes into consideration. And it says it's a non-working day. Then okay, right, right. So since it's calculated automatically, so I have to move to 26th January, right? So you see 26th January also become exception, right? So in construction calendar. And then we'll talk about any other day, probably yeah, Pongal. Can ignore this because it automatically takes a 14th. Yeah, so you see, I just marked all the exceptions on non-working day, right? So January 1 is non-working day, and so was the New Year, I mean the Republic Day and Pongal. I can even, yeah, so can even go to details, and you can set this as non-working, or you can give us like some portion of it is not working, like half a day or something like that is not working. Since it's full day, it's not working, and I can even click this features. And you want to occur this reference weekly that particular day is off. You can do that, or you can even give yearly. This is something every year. This is has to be followed. Like New Year cannot be changed, right? So the celebration on that is only on the 1st of the January. So you can give it yearly so that it does not change or something like that. Right? So I'm gonna give exceptions, and you can start, looking into this. And since I've just checked Monday to Saturday, that's why Monday to Saturday is our working day, but Sunday is off. That's why they say non-working, default non-working. Not only for this, probably for this is just an example. So all right, so let's take a look at that. So once you finish that, you can give okay, right? So this red dots represents the non-working. 14th January, the Pongal, and 1st January, you can see it is not working. And 1st January falls on Saturday, so that particular column is not there, right? So you can, it's blank or something like that. Right. Let's take a look at the task that we can use for construction or something like that. So first you see is site uh, clearance. Site clearance. The duration I give it 1 day. So you can see the Gantt charts popping up, the Gantt content. So that falls on this particular day uh, randomly, but we need to really specify the start and end day. So the start day is 2nd January. 2nd January is Sunday, so 3rd January, and it's 1 day, and you can see that. Yeah, I can see here. Right. Then predecessor for this is nothing. Right. So next is I think it's surveying. or you can even call this a site surveying. Also 1 day. But you can see in the initial stage, the activities are scheduled manually. Like I type in, so it comes up. Right, so it automatically comes somewhere, some location, but I need to be specific. So I have to give predecessor. So predecessor is this thing. So first and two. So I'll just give one as predecessor. When you see, let's zoom it a little bit. When you see here, I think I zoom. So Monday to Tuesday, we could see, the initial activity is one. This is two. So two cannot start unless one is over. Let me go to project information. The, the calendar window specifies construction calendar. Right? So that's why confusion is. Um, Probably. All right. So next stuff is earthwork or something like that, or site marking, and that also takes 1 day, and then you can even take the predecessor as two, since it is immediate predecessors two, and it goes on. Then earthwork, excavation, then transportation. I can even call this as excess earth material, right? So this is also 1 day. You can even give 0.5 day, half a day, or something like that. Then you can call this as 3, and this is 4. You can see the size of the Gantt chart varies, something like that, right? And you can even see the start day and its significance or something like that. Then parallel activity, say predecessor 3, like after earthwork, you can lay PCC for foundation. Then it just asks question mark whether it is 1 day. Yeah, no, I just say it's 2 days, right? So it's 2 days, and it starts from directly from here, the parallel activity. Um, then or you can even have another activity. Say RCC. You don't specify like rebar or something like that, and the predecessor is 6. You can see. Once you lay footing, then RCC plinth beam construction, it takes 7 days, and the predecessor is 7. So the schedules like that. And let me quickly run through this RCC main column, RCC beam, tab, then masonry, then staircase, plastering. Before plastering, all this, I put all MEP together, MEP, and painting, right? So RCC column, I'll give something around 14 days. RCC beam and slab, I give 20 days time. And masonry, I give 12 days time. Staircase is 7 days. MEP is 4 days. Plastering is 3 days. Painting is 3, something like that. Then I need to specify, you see, all these things happens parallelly. So I need to specify the predecessor. So RCC column cannot start unless the plinth beam is done, and so was this is both is 9, then it is 10, then it could be from the staircases, you can even start parallelly, like after 9 itself. Then MEP is after everything is done, and plastering is once it is 14, painting is once plastering is done. Right, 15. Right. So you can see this particular. This is the network diagram, Gantt chart view, and I can even zoom out the time scale. I can zoom out 1 month time. Let's take a look. You see, this is how it looks like 1 month's time, or I can zoom it for 3 months time, and here's the entire project. January to March 27, the project goes on and on. Fine. And then I can even zoom into closer also, 1 week time, something like that. Or if I want to have an entire project, I just generally click entire project. So this is how you track the work, accomplished or something like that. Right. You can even click project information. You can even check for status on that particular day or something like that. Right. All right. So this is a Gantt chart view, and we can even talk about that in the network diagram view. So this is a network diagram. You see site surveying starts Monday and finishes. We have not added any resources. Let's take a look at that. And if you see, some of the activities are in red color. Some of them are in blue. I mean, green color, kind of a blue color. Right? So the red color activities are critical activities. So I will talk about that in much detail when we do critical path method. But these things are critical activities, the activities that corresponds to the project duration. Right. So that's a very important thing. Let me go back to the Gantt chart views. Or calendar, if you take a look at the calendar, Monday you have to do this, and Tuesday you have to do this, and Wednesday or something like that. Then we talk about resource sheet. I will come back to this a little later. Then we don't have anything like this, but tracking Gantt. I see initially we are in the initial stage. That's why all these things are in 0%. The red one represents the critical path, right? So blue one represents the non-critical path or non-critical activities. So we'll talk about this a little later. Right? Let's go back to the Gantt chart view itself, right? Or if you want to, change working time, you can pretty well use that this particular calendar and you can update it. But I'm not gonna do that. Or if you want to have a time scale, like the topmost layers and something like that, top tier, bottom tier, middle tier, bottom tier, non-working days, and something like that. You can probably mention that. Right? So somewhere, okay. But very important, this is show hide bar styles. This is very important. First thing is like critical tasks. So I'm going to click that. So in no matter time, it calculates the critical path. If you have taken my operation research course, like finding a critical path, solving network diagram will be very difficult. Given a 16 activities like this is pretty much takes an hour time or something like that. You need to do a forward pass, you need to find a backward pass, and you need to find earlier start, late start, and so on, right? So many times like activity times and event times. So it just clicks in, just a matter of a second, right? And also you can even edit the, the bar styles by going here. Say I want to have text. The I want to have a text at the top. Like for example, I want to have uh, at the top of the activity, I want to have the task name or something like that. So to task name is here. Task name is no. Let me check whether it is there. Okay, so that's not there. Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at the duration on the top of it, and The left of it will take a look at the other task mode or something. Yeah. Let me go back to it. Next. We talked about predecessors, but now it's the resources. For example, site clearance. We can see there's nothing listed here. So what we do is we go to resource sheet, then we'll specify resource name. Like for example, um, we can workers or housekeeping, something like that. Then we can call carpenters, can call mason, or even we can even take cement or concrete and so on, right? Say housekeeping is typically the work related thing, and carpenter is also work, and cement is material, concrete is also material, and put something in cost like the earth movers. We can put it under work, put in a cost, for example. So the change. Let's see. Housekeeping is H, carpenter is C, mason, cement. Since both are the same, so concrete, I want to have CO instead of C, right? And then you can see the maximum utilization percentage, right? Something like that. Then the standard rate per hour. Say since it's in dollars, so we need to specify that in terms of dollars. Say standard rate, I just say it is something like uh, $2 per hour, and I'm getting okay. So it's a standard rate. Now, overtime rate is when they perform overtime, they want to have $5 per hour in terms of overtime, not in terms of standard. Oh, this is in standard, and I'll just put 5. Okay, and standard rate, and this is under construction calendar. And similarly, you can put it like I put it for cost, the cement. I can put there's no overtime rate for cement. See, that's a material. I need to give per use cost. Per use around $2.5, something like that. For this example. And then if you want to give it for standard rate, because I can put $10 a bag of cement. And so on, right? So once you do this, when you go back to Gantt chart view, you can now see the resources comes in. Like so, I just added the resources. I just say for first one, I need some housekeeping people. For this also, I need housekeeping. I need something like mason, for example. So you can have resources comes in. Then as goes on the earth work, I need earth movers as well as mason, something like that. I can have, you can see the text is popping up. Then transport access, then can need earth movers only, right? And then I think critical activities, the text is not coming. So I think that's because of the critical tasks, too many critical tasks, right? And this is normal activity. Let me go to tasks selected. Milestones. Critical is not selected. right? So we need to navigate to critical, yeah, critical, right? So that's why we have a lot of critical activities. So we need to put it at what we have done for a non-critical activity. Um, the right, we can have a duration, thing like that. Right. So just when I click, you see the critical path duration happens. Right. And this is how it is done. And don't forget to save your work. Saving your work is pretty much important than scheduling it. Next is like resource usage. When you talk about resource usage, you see housekeeping is used for 16 hours. It's over allocated. That's why it says over allocated. So it should be leveled or something. Since we have taken this, arbitrarily, so you don't have to really, worry about this. But since it is over time, other things you see, the housekeeping, the entire housekeeping, getting 9, 8, and 1 hour. It's kind of a allocated. Carpenters we are not given anywhere. Like masons also 16 hours, but it does disperse. It is allocated throughout, so it's not over allocation. It's something. Huh? And the timeline, you can see this is very important. It starts on first month, which is January, and third of that, and then it ends on 29th March of that month. So right, and once you give resources, you can see once that is over allocated, and it will indicate like the one of the task is allocated, over allocated. I'll just give right click. I can even give auto scheduled or level that, or I can give and fix in task predecessor or something like that. So this is one advantage. The computer does the work for you. Now it does have different options like we will be doing a little later in this course. So far we have given an overview of how we can generate a schedule or using Microsoft Project. Right. In the next lecture, we'll be looking into the tracking of it, and then we'll specify how to change stuffs and constraints and the predecessor relationship and so on. Right. I hope you really enjoy this video. This comes to the end of this lecture.